All right, we got another game here. And, you know, one of the things I see about players I don't like these days on Fox is that they automatically resign if they get black. And that's generally not a good way to actually learn the game. You need to be able to play both sides. That's actually not a good move there. Jumping or flying here is better. There's too much Aji here, and this corner's not clean if you do this move. Like the small fly or the jump is just much better. That is a weird ass move that I'm not actually a huge fan of because I can pincer on this side and secure this base over here. Unless you want to really jump out, which would actually not be great, you have to invade the 3-3, which I can just fly and get the influence over here. Yes. See, I'm going to block on this side. Usually you would go down there. Or come here. We go ahead and fly anyways. You can clamp right here, I guess. But I'm not gonna. But this is bigger. See, the thing is, he didn't secure either corner. He's probably going to invade my 3-3 now. Or do that. Let's see, like, what he does if I do this and pincer. Now, usually this is not a good move. Oh. That's interesting. He just does that. It's very interesting. He just does that. Go ahead and do that. He's still got the clamp, but I don't really care if he has the clamp or not. That's not a good move because you're creating two really weak groups for yourself. These are terrible, terrible moves. Like, I could actually do this as well. I just don't really want to. Because, I mean, he can't. I'm just going to do this. You're creating two really weak groups for yourself now. And the thing is, like, you may not actually be able to... yeah, the thing is, like, you may not be able to, you know... I could just do this as well. I'm going to go down here and just play this. I'm not really afraid of him right now. I am not afraid of him at all at this point. I don't think he quite understands what he's doing at this point. He is basically sacrificing those stones over there. There is the Aji here, but you know, I'm gonna do this, and even if he isn't sacrificing those stones, that's also a horrible move. Not because, you know, like, I don't know if he thinks I have to block here or not. I really don't. This group's not in any danger, and I can pretty much kill this group now. I can pretty much kill his group here now. Like, that can actually be Gote, and that would be devastating to his group over here. So you got to think about, before you do these moves, like these, what you think is Sente moves, or, because, like, I don't have to act, I don't actually have to block the way that, if you bump into me, I don't have to block. I can play another move. See, like, if you do this, I can sacrifice this stone and just kill this group. And that's a lot bigger for me. I mean, I might go back anyways, because, like, both of your groups are in trouble. You have to, like, when you play, like, you might be able to cut off this stone, but that's not really that much territory. Cutting here, actually, yeah, that's probably a good move. Like, cutting here, but the problem is that's still not alive. I'm actually going to do this first. That group is actually dead in there, by the ways. But this group, I'm pretty sure is actually dead in here. Or not? Actually, I'm not sure if it is or not. Let's do this. He has this, but that gets me to squeeze on this, so I can just cut off this stone now. See, like, there's so many things that... There's so many things. There's just so many things, and like so many damaging moves that he actually has to do to make this group alive. I mean, he could essentially just block, and when I don't know if this would actually work, because if he blocks and I do this, he has to extend, but then if I just Atari here, he might actually be dead. So his liberties are really tight, so I'm not really sure if it works or not for him. But even if this doesn't work for me, and I actually think it does, I'm not 100% sure. He could extend here first, but then like I would get to cut this later on. That's the only play I believe he can make. Tari, no, he's got the connect there. I can't do that. My liberties are really tight. But the thing is, he has to do this. He has to do this move, which would actually make me connect. But that's damaging to him as well. Because I can take this, and now like I get this territory as well. He doesn't have to, I mean, like, he can live but just by playing here. It's really the only thing he can actually do. Actually, no, he can't. You know why? Because if he cuts... Actually, no, I challenge that. If he cuts, I can just recut in there. So he's actually dead either way. Yeah, he's actually dead either way. That's that's a wrong read by me. I can just go in there. I have 2-0 down here, so he's essentially dead. And yeah, so like I said, this move's no good. I probably just should have killed this first. I mean, I can just do this. If they do something, you don't have to block, and this just damages this group even more.
Yoyomi now starts.
So this was basically a fake Sente move, or like a fake testing. This was basically like a fake testing move, because he would expect me to block the obvious block, and then he does that. But if I don't do the obvious, but if I don't actually go with the obvious block, then he would actually be in trouble. Yeah, I mean, he could play this Ko, but he's not. I mean, cutting here would be the obvious move. Cutting here would be the obvious move. I would do this, but even that's not very good, because it's like when he does this, I can just connect. And this is essentially like a 1 liberty kill. So
9,
he's basically screwed.
8, 7, 6, 5,
His tight liberties
4,
basically
3,
mean that he can't do anything
2,
against me.
1.
So he's lost both this group and this.
2 Yoyomis left.
That's useless. He probably wants to... I mean, that's really not any good. I'm just going to fix this out here. I'm going to let him have that. I'm just going to fix this out here. Because if he kills this, then I'm just going to go ahead and kill this group, which is much, much bigger.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
That's actually not useful at all. I can kill him anyway, basically. The ladder actually does work for me. But I also can, yeah, it's fine. That's not really a thing, so I think I'm just going to go out here. And I don't know, what do I do with this group? These couple of stones here. I don't necessarily need to do that. Let's do this.
Yo-Yomi now starts.
I am extremely ahead in this game right now. You can do this, I connect.
9, 8,
and to me, like,
7,
I think even this
6.
ladder actually works.
Yo-Yomi
so it
now
doesn't matter to me.
starts.
So I'm basically creating territory as I attack his group.
Nine,
He does have an eye down
8,
here, by the way.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He does actually have an eye down here, by the way, on Gote.
Last Yo-Yomi.
Extend out. He can go down there. I'm going to extend out, but now he's making my Moyo up here. And I've already secured the corner. But he is going to be able to break my territory down here. Not that that really matters.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
That's not really a move I would do. Can I do this? Hane, double Hane. I don't know if that works. Hane, double Hane. Can't win that way. Let's see if it works. Yeah, I'm going to double Hane on this. Does that, I connect. I will gladly take... I will most gladly take those two. Give up the small corner and gladly take those two. So, like, I think a lot of lower ranked
9,
players would just
8,
extend here, and
7,
that would be a mistake because then he would
6,
win
5,
the fight.
4,
But the double
3,
Hane puts him in a really,
2,
really bad position.
1.
So he ran out of time. So game analysis wise, if we just continue with this. Actually, no, I would have just continued, because if you do this, then it becomes a little bit sketchy. If he does this, definitely. But I would just go ahead and do this. So yes, he gets the corner, but you're pretty much safe here. And then Not really sure what he would do here. I mean, he could do this, but you can pretty much just kill him like that. So that's not a thing. But the main problem with his play here, I mean, there's a lot of problems with the play in the beginning. Okay, like when I do this, you should do this and just let me do this or something. You should not invade in here. That move is awful. If you want to do this move, if you actually want to break this territory, which is not much of, you would just clamp. All right, you just take the easy way and you clamp. Because if you clamp, I'm probably not going to extend down. Because, you know, that doesn't work for me. If you clamp, I'm probably just going to connect. And then I might try to attack your group over here and introduce over here. Or something like that. You don't do this because if you do this, you're basically creating another, weak group for yourself. Now you have like 2 weak groups. All right, you can try to attack this stone, which would probably be maybe your best bet here. But you know, there's all sorts of like random stuff like this. If you do this, I'm gonna do that, and then see, like, I would still get the bottom, but this result actually isn't too bad for white. But the thing is, like, you have to, if you're gonna do this, you have to like use these like real threatening moves like this. To actually, you have to use real threatening moves like that. In this case, I would probably just do this and then come out. Real threatening moves like that. Or do something like this, or like real threatening moves to actually come out, and limit me here. This result, while it looks bad for white, it may not be so bad. Yeah, you sacrifice these 4 stones, but you destroy my moyo on the outside, so that wouldn't be a bad result either. But generally, like, what he did was really, really bad. Because that's an awful move. Because what this move does, all it does is make this stone stronger. If I just do this, now, like, I don't have any weaknesses that you can really attack. You could jump up here and make me answer, but you don't really have a good way to attack these 2 stones or anything. And the thing is, now you have 2 weak groups that you need to babysit, and I only have one group kind of in the center that I need to babysit. So that's definitely a tactical advantage to me. So like, the correct way to do this is when I do this, you just come up. You basically just do this, and then I would probably do something like this down here. And if you want to, like, you know, if you want to take advantage of the Hane and stuff, that's perfectly fine. Don't also, when you do this, don't do this, because that solidifies my corner. Whereas if you just do this, and you know, let's say I play somewhere, you still have this possibly in the future. It could, right now, I don't know if it works. I don't know if it, like, whenever that works, but you possibly have something like that in the future where you can actually still take the corner, right? So don't actually Atari that away. But I mean, if you just want to get to a base or something, that's perfectly fine as well. Because if I continue to attack on the outside, I mean, you always have basically a way to make eyes down there. And this, I don't think this move is bad, even though it makes me stronger here. There's just not much potential for territory here. And settling your group might actually be more important. And the thing is, you still leave this potential in the future. So, you know, or possibly, like, not that, maybe just a clamp or something, right? Because this kind of ensures that. So the thing is, like, making 2 weak groups when you don't have to is really bad, especially when you have like an obvious clamp right here that I can't just break, you know. Especially when you have an obvious clamp right here that I can't go down on, right? I have to do this, and if you do this, then you've already broken my territory over here, and there's no need to create another small group. So that's like one of those, you know, like Caillou mistakes that, you know, you really shouldn't make if you want to go up in rank. You know, like when he does this, I was actually going to pincer to see what he does. He could go ahead and do like something like this. I actually have more ways of playing this than I usually show. This can actually get pretty complicated. I wouldn't want to do that. So, I mean, I might just go for this, but this is not a good result for, like, to me, this is not a good result. I mean, it's an okay result because this group is not weak or anything, but I still maintain some of my stuff over here. But then, like, things like this clamp are going to be a real pain in the ass at this point, because if with this clamp, I really don't have I don't really have that much potential over here, so I would have to fix that clamp sometime. So yeah, like this, you got to do this. You have to do this because most likely, like, you know, someone's gonna do this, and then you can probably like go on top or go on bottom. Probably bottom this time. If they do pincer, you always have this move. This doesn't work right now, but even with this, like, even if they do decide to do this, I mean, there's always like there's always other things like this that you could possibly do. So, you know, like there's ways that you can actually, or even that, there's ways that you can actually handle this. And it's actually pretty hard for me to kill either one of these groups without seriously damaging my other side. This could probably kill this, but, you know, you still have the 3 in here. So, the thing is, like, doing that, clamping, or like even if you do this, you could just do this and see what he does, because this just isn't very clean. If I pincer over here, there's a lot of Augean transformations over in this corner that gets pretty complicated. So I think, you know, I would actually play here just to test your response to see how you would respond, and maybe I would opt for like a big fight like this, but this doesn't necessarily favor me. This really doesn't necessarily favor me, because there's just too much stuff that white could actually do, and it's a it's a really hard kill for white. I think this ladder actually favors white now. Not 100% sure. Let me play this out. Maybe not. I mean, in a real game, I would take time to actually calculate this ladder, but in this example, I'm just going to play this out. No, ladder still favors black, it looks like. Yeah, slightly, no. Yeah, it still slightly favors black. I mean, this ladder wouldn't really work, and there's just like a bunch of calculations. There's a bunch of different moves you can make, a bunch of different calculations you can make, you know, just doing this. Obviously, that wouldn't be a very good result, and you would probably just do this. But, I mean, even this is not easy to deal with. This is really not easy to deal with. Probably take these two down here. But, I mean, like, stuff like this isn't very easy to deal with. And that's not very clean over here. Because you still, you know, you can still kind of like, you know, Hane over here or something. So the stuff isn't very clean. I would definitely play the pincer, and just to see what you do. Or you could just, you know, jump out as well. But realistically, with this kind of shape, I don't know if I would have done this. I probably would have actually done something like this. Because if I pincer this way, you have a very comfortable extend. If I pincer this way, it's still not a bad extend. So there's not a really great way for me to pincer. If I pincer this way, there's still the 3-3 invasion. So I think like in a situation like this, something probably like along this lines where you can extend 2 both way is probably the best move right now. Because there's not a great answer to this. I don't know which way I would actually pincer. I might just do this way. But then you have like the 3-3 invasion, which isn't clean. So that was kind of like a mistake by him to play that. That makes no sense at all. I mean, this, I can just, you know, I can always just go do this later. And, you know, that basically cleans the corner. and your eye space isn't looking all that great. And, you know, I can pincer here first, and now you basically have to extend, and then I can get this, and your eye space, while it's looking better, it's still not as wide as it used to be, and I already have this side. So that's just not a great, that really just isn't a great place to, that's just not a good move. And like I said, this invasion is probably much better done here. Much, much better done there. I don't know which way I would pincer. I would probably go this way at this point. Push you towards the wall, my wall. Because if I go this way, like, I'm giving up a little bit of that side. And it just feels too comfortable for me to give this, because then I don't have anything to attack. Also, remember when I said a little bit more back, I said this move isn't as good. It's really because, let's say, like, if you go over here, I mean, this is pretty obvious, because if you do this, I can just go ahead and do that. Well, not that, but that's actually kind of dumb, but, like, you can do this, and, you know, there's some Aji in the corner, I get, like, this thing in here. And there's obviously, like, plays like this, where I can ko. And if you try to kill me, you know, there's always, you know, like, plays like this. And there's always kind of like plays like that, and I don't know if that ladder works or not. If that ladder doesn't work, white might be in some trouble. Or if you want to, like, block on this side, you know, then you open stuff up like this, and, you know, now this is essentially, oops, sorry, this is essentially alive. So the thing is, like, doing this does not secure the corner. Doing that does not secure the corner. This secures the corner a lot more, because this is, like, direct. And it's not. This is much, much less livable. And also, like, you kind of have the clamp here. Yeah, this is. I thought it was not livable, but anyways, I'm pretty sure this is not livable. I forgot what the Joseki was actually in here. Yeah, I think this is dead. No, it's still alive. This should be actually dead. I don't really remember what the actual Joseki was in here. I think that's dead. Yeah, if you just play here, it's dead. I don't really play this corner variation very much, because I just assume that, like, this little formations, I've always known it's, like, you know, the corner's fairly clean there. I think this is the way you do it, actually. There's really no way you can make this alive, because that's there. And if you protect this eye, then you're dead here. So just the Hane on the corner. So the thing is, like, this is a lot more solid in protecting your territory than this. And he did that on both sides. He actually did that on both sides, which means, like, neither of the corners is clean. So he didn't really claim the corner. This definitely is not a good move. You definitely want to play the small knights. All right. That is the game for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notifications button. I will see you guys later.